Hey y'all, happy Sunday, and this is my review for Basketball Wives Season 11, Part 2, The Reunion. I'm just saying, thank God it was only one part. I looked at this today and I was just really disappointed. Um, yeah, like it wasn't much to it. And I don't know, like they need like maybe a new production team, definitely a different host. We are rounding out this season finally. I think I'm glad to just move on from this, even though this season was a little bit better than the last, but that's not really saying much. But what y'all doing this Sunday? Um, Tonight, Sabrina Carpenter is going to be at Madison Square Garden. I was looking at StubHub, and the tickets are still like high as hell. Right now, the lowest ticket is at $678. Like my budget was $150, so it looks like I'm not going to that because the doors open at 7. So I was just like, you know what? Might as well just come on here. So yeah, let's get into this review. I'm pretty sure it won't be too long because this reunion, like, it was just thin as a sheet of loose leaf paper, for real. So we get into it. We go behind the scenes before the reunion. They're trying to like get on their Bravo tip for some reason. Laura, Laura Govan, is that her name? She makes an appearance in Jackie's phone, and she says that she's sick, but she asks Jackie to let her know how it goes. Excuse me. It would have been nice to see her, like, if she participated. And I thought she would have been a great addition to the cast, especially, I mean, maybe next season. They should really think about that. Give her the money that she wants. I think she would fit in great, actually. Also, a lot of the ladies behind the scenes, they have concerns about Jennifer and her scammer. Like, a lot has gone on like in real time since the season began. And I'm sure y'all saw all the YouTube videos. I mean, they're married present day. And I want to know, was it confirmed that any of the ladies go to the wedding in Paris? Can y'all let me know that, please? Who does she think she is? 675 is crazy. Well, to be fair, the tickets are sold out. So the only thing that's being sold right now are resale tickets. So I blame capitalism and greed, pretty much. I really wanted to see her because, you know, like, that album is amazing. I didn't know who this white girl was. And as soon as I heard Espresso, like, for the first time, like, it still has me in a chokehold, y'all. But she's gonna be here tonight, Madison Square Garden, and tomorrow at Barclays. And it just sucks because I really wanted to see her, but these days it's hard to get concert tickets. And look, I am a concert person because back in the day, like, I seen everybody, but it just wasn't this hard. Anywho, yeah, I'm talking about something more interesting than basketball wise. I'm sorry. I'll get back to the topic at hand. But yeah, all the ladies, I'm pretty much worried about Jennifer marrying this man. So we cut to Jennifer getting ready, and she's still delusional. Like, she's in wedding mode. She is walking down that aisle. Like, I think she just wants like a date for her, pretty much. Like, you can't talk a narcissist out of this situation that she's in because it's going to be a day all about her. She gets to wear the wedding dresses. I don't know. I mean, I think it's all going to blow up in her face, but we're going to get to that later. So the reunion starts, and the host is Nina Parker. They couldn't get anyone messy to do this. Like, Nina Parker, like I said in Pop Rose earlier today, she gives like Entertainment Tonight, maybe like a correspondent for somebody, maybe radio station vibes. Like, I could see her reporting live for BET, but not for a personality. Like, we needed like a comedian as well as someone with a personality to guide the conversation and really ask the questions that they know the fans are going to want to ask. So they already get a strike already on this. We see that the obvious color, the theme is pink, but yeah, we see Jackie, dressed in all black like the Omen. Um, I think all she owns is black. I mean, she had a little bit of pink in her handkerchief or whatever, but yeah, we're not going to get Jackie into any color outside of black. So first they start off with this stupid game, and it's like, who said this line or whatever, and I'm already over it. It's a fluff piece. We're gonna move on, or i.e. fast forward. We're moving on to Evelyn's reel, and it's mostly about her being a private investigator. She's talking about they're talking about Jackie, the whole prostitution thing. And she said she wasn't judging, but she was surprised. Girl, the first thing you did was judge her, and you were making jokes. So I can't even take her seriously saying, like, sex work is real work, when she's like basically using that against Jackie. And I don't really believe for a hot second that she wanted to be a private investigator in real life, trying to get her hours. She just wanted to find a way to get back at Jackie and embarrass her. Also, I see we have 46 people in the room. Feel free to comment as I'm talking about it. I think I'm starting to love doing these live reviews. After this review, I'm officially caught up on everything. So I don't know. Like, I'm going to continue to do my regular edited reviews, but we'll see. We'll see. Because I don't know. I think this is a little bit easier. Like, I was always just afraid to do lives because, like, I can't really do on the spot that great all the time. And sometimes I'm the king of ums. So I would be a little self-conscious about it. But I think y'all really made me comfortable into doing this. And it actually makes me get out the content faster when I do this. So yeah, thank you for y'all's encouragement. Y'all know, like, y'all support and even watching, like, not to get all mushy, I really appreciate it because it doesn't tire me out. Like, it keeps me loving it when it's effortless. And I feel like this is a little bit more effortless for me. Anywho, Jackie's still denying that she was a prostitute back in the day. Brandy, that's sitting next to her, she pretty much says she believed it. She saw the signs. And then I guess Evelyn calls out Jackie for accusing her of bestiality or whatever. That is the wildest moment I've seen in reality television. Well, the wildest accusation. That has to be in my top 5. Jackie is saying that it's something that she heard still, and she doesn't care if she's into it or not. Now wait a mother effing minute. Like, not only is the B word disgusting, it's also illegal. So I would care if somebody I know is doing that. And, like, point blank, period. Like, you don't play with stuff like that. That's why I was like, if I was Evelyn, I would sue her ass, or at least send her a cease and desist immediately. Because that's what with, like, a pedo. Seriously. And then a little later, Jackie uses the term bestiologist. Like, she's just a real coconut, really. I agree about Nina hosting. I don't care for her dry ass. Same. I'm not sure she's a lovely woman outside of this. Glad to know that you and Alex will soon be reunited. It feels so good. Yeah, I'm really excited for him to be on the East Coast or coming back to it. Thank you. I love y'all too. You're doing great, sweetie. So then we get to recording gate immediately. And first on how it affected Brandy. Brandy, who, like, doesn't like people coming for her husband, starts to come for Jackie's husband, Doug. I didn't get that. And then her and Jackie are just having a yelling match. And then like the hands start going. And then Brandy like swats off Jackie's hand. Don't put your hand in my face. But they don't fight. And I just feel like I'm starting to think that Brandy and Jackie, let me know if y'all agree, but I'm starting to think that this is like orchestrated between them. Like they really like F with each other, but they're just trying to find out ways to just start beefing. Like I'm starting to think they're just acting at this point because there's no way that she's sitting right next to her and somebody you don't like and they do this to your hand or something. I don't know. And then they were laughing and joking a little bit afterward. Anywho, uh, we move on to Jacille saying her thoughts about the recording, and Jackie barely lets her get a word in. So then Nicole then asks Jackie, does she record people? And Jackie just lies again and says no. But we're moving on because this reunion is trash. We're moving on to Brooke and her dating life. And Brooke says she had, like, essentially, she says she has no regrets and seems she will continue to make poor choices in that arena. And we're done with that segment. So now we're on Brandy's reel from the season. And she's asked about an update on her and Jason. And I'm like, what I got from this, she's not divorced yet. She doesn't call it a separation. Like she doesn't know what she wants to do because at times she wants to have a family. And I'm just thinking the answer is no. And I just think she's just gonna let him cheat in peace. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like it's just so interesting because he wants to stay in Texas. She wants to be in Los Angeles. So y'all are separated. But I think she doesn't want to go through the hassle of divorce either. I feel like it's going to be kind of like a I'm gonna take y'all back. I feel like it's like a Real Housewives of New Jersey situation where Dolores's man, where he just separated from his wife for all these years, but they didn't get a divorce. I feel like it's that situation. It's going into that. Evelyn is then asked, why does she always bring up Jason in an argument? And she says some bullshit answer about it's because she don't like Jason, which doesn't make sense because like you're using it clearly to hurt Brandy. And she says she still apologized for it and she won't do it again. And Brandy says she's fine with Evelyn apologizing because I mean, she don't really know her like that. And she doesn't really hold her to task like she holds Brooke. So then she calls out Brooke for not defending her, like in the very first part of the season when Evelyn and Brandy got into it. And Evelyn was talking shit with her with the other ladies and she wasn't present. And Brandy didn't like that. So Brooke acknowledges that maybe she didn't defend Brandy how she wanted to the degree, but then tries to turn it on Brandy saying like, well, you know how I felt when you brought Jackie around at your dinner without telling me. But I'm like, hold up. You can't bring that up against her because your homegirl, like Evelyn, who you're sitting next to, like, you're not mad at her, like especially to the degree you were mad at her in comparison to Evelyn, because Evelyn was just laughing it off. Like she never holds Evelyn accountable, and Brooke is usually all rah, you know. But let me see what y'all saying. The more you do it, the better you get. I keep telling you that you are really great at it. We love your authenticity. I appreciate y'all. Hey, Chris and Chad, I feel the same way about Jackie and Brandy. Yeah, I really think they're just trying to fight for a check. Like, they're orchestrating it. You're glad it was only one part. And she wants to keep his NBA pension if something happens. That's good thinking. That is really good thinking. Side note, I had an event last night where the signature cocktail was Red Bull and vodka and espresso martinis, and I didn't know Red Bull had this new flavor. It's a strawberry and apricot. It's a little delicious, and I kind of stepped away from Red Bulls, but because I'm usually a Celsius person. But this is actually tasty and it's doing the job right now because I needed one today. I had a busy day still. This is kind of like my off day. Mm. But anyway, so they move on and they bring Cheyenne out as the special guest. Um, I don't know why they tried to make this a mystery. Like it was supposed to be somebody else. I guess like they really wanted Laura to come back, but we didn't get her. So, I mean, we all expected Cheyenne to be there because she was kind of like the friend of. So it wasn't really like a surprise. They tried to make it seem that way. But of course, the drama between her and Brooke is brought up. But first, Evelyn is in the hot seat for inviting Cheyenne and Jackie to Mexico, even though she was mad at Brandy for doing the same thing to Brooke. But again, she just laughs it off like it's not a big deal, and she just gets away with it, which I don't understand. So then as Giselle is calling out Evelyn, Brandy says she notices in the group that they really sway when it comes to Evelyn first or when it comes to Brooke. And I agree with her. Like, I'm not saying they're scared of them, but for some reason they just always fall in line. Like they really wasn't taking Evelyn to task like they were Brandy. Like Brandy, she was almost like on the outside for a second after she invited Brandy to her dinner or whatever. So yeah, I agree. And then it looks like Brooke never wants to confront Evelyn. And then I think with Brooke, like Brandy was the only one called her out on the guy that she was moving too fast with, but no one else wanted to challenge Brooke. So yeah, even though Giselle says she's not scared of anybody, but I think she does give them more grace to just stay in the circle because I think Giselle, which is a great addition to the show, like every show needs a Cynthia figure that gets along with everybody. And I think Giselle likes that spot or whatever. But if she comes back next season, I would want Giselle to step it up. Like something got to happen. Like I want her to get into it really with somebody. So Brooks then tries to explain her stance, but Brandy's like, I said what I said. So instead of exploring this though more, Nicole, she just decides to go move on to the Mexico trip. And the first question she's asking is about the gay bashing. Like when they were at the dinner the first night, and Cheyenne tried to call out Brooke and say, well, I still think that was gay bashing. And Nicole then asked the resident gay person on the show, did she think it was? And I agree with what's her name, Giselle, because it's not really gay bashing. Like I really got it as, okay, you may act like a boy, you may dress like a man, you may be male presenting. She didn't say it like that, but this is how she meant it. You may be male presenting, but I'm gonna still fight your ass like you a girl, So yeah, I can see how it's kind of like borderline offensive, but when you're in this state of about to fight, I don't think you're worried about stuff like that. So I don't think I don't think Brooke is homophobic. Maybe y'all disagree with me. Let me know in the comments. But Cheyenne and Brooke are going back and forth now, and they're at a stalemate, and it's just established that they ain't moving forward anytime soon. I don't even see Cheyenne coming back. I wonder how are we on the Mexico trip and we didn't even get to the whole charity event melee? Like that was a whole episode in itself. Like I really wanted Cheyenne to be called to task that, like what she did to Brooke wasn't fair because the other ladies were sitting down too. They just skipped that whole thing, y'all. Like the whole thing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, the reunion was not good at all. Like they're not even going in chronological order. These hopeless heifers do not need another season. Well, they are. They're going to get one. Anyway, so now we're talking about the explosive last dinner of the trip that was involving Brandy and Jackie. Looked like they was about to fight. And Cheyenne is asked, why did she stand up? And she says that she was just going to get in the middle of it. And Brandy took it as, oh, so you were going to jump me? You were going to jump me? Cheyenne was like, no, like my intention was like to break it up. And I just wanted to make sure I had Jackie's back. Like, I really didn't think that Cheyenne was going to jump in. Like, for real? Over what? Nicole then switches gears to some fluff shit. And again, it's just, I don't like this. And then we're moving on to earlier in the Mexico trip because we're not going chronological order like they should be. So now we're going to how Brooke and Jackie were making up. And their relationship present day is they're just not mad at each other, but they're definitely not friends. Like, so it means like their relationship is strictly tingent on the show. Pretty much. So they go to break and they just dismiss Cheyenne. I'm just like, what was the point of this? For real. Like, she could have done this via satellite. Like, it's so easy to tell that the editors just chopped and screwed this episode footage because it was all over the place. So now we're on Jacille's reel, and I'm just like, we can just fast forward through this, but they basically summed up her segment, her entire segment of the season on the ladies at her wedding eating early. And that was it. That was a wrap on her reel. Which, fun fact, she actually was offended that they were eating before the ceremony started because the photographer was taking pictures and there was food on the table. So yeah, I would have been offended because it just looked like they don't take Jacille seriously. Like they were just like, oh, she ain't no classy broad, so she ain't gonna care. That's a little offensive. Like they wouldn't have done that for anybody else. And I'm just wondering, was that a real wedding anyway? So now we're moving on to Jennifer's reel, which I'm sure we're ending it on this. So this is going to be the last topic the ladies are talking about. She says the wedding is still going forward. First, she's asked about the restitution, which a lawyer on YouTube, I know her and Make It Make Sense was on Jennifer Williams and Christian's necks about their restitution because it wasn't actually $250K, it was $12,000. So when she's asked to break that down, Jennifer is acting like it wasn't a big deal for somebody to ask that question. And I'm like, that's a big difference in numbers. Like you're going from like, that's a whole 6 figures you owe somebody. Like 12K, we would have been like, okay, like that's a lot, but that's not $250,000. So Jennifer's saying it was a technicality, like they put in another motion. And I'm like, well, why didn't y'all say that when the season was like filming, you know? And apparently, allegedly, she says he paid it off and her scammer never asked her to help him pay it. So again, y'all, focusing on Jennifer's wedding, did anybody know if the other girls went to the wedding that was sitting on the couch? Because that's what I'm more curious about. That's what I wanted to know. So then there's an interesting moment. I think this was the most interesting moment of the episode. They call out Jen when remember, I forgot it was Evelyn's event when she was trying to defend her scammer situation, like with false imprisonment. is that how you say it? False imprisonment? Yeah, false imprisonment and domestic violence, because Evelyn was saying that was a trigger. And I think Brooke was saying it was a trigger for her too. But they were really trying to like break it down gently for Jennifer in like a nice way, that like when you're defending your fiance, like you're discounting the victim's experience or whatever. Like and it's triggering for them hearing that. And she, like Jennifer, it wasn't registering for her at all. And it really turned me off to that, because they told her that you can defend him without, like, I guess, marginalizing the victim's story or whatever. It was just really, what's the word I'm looking for? It was just slightly problematic. It really reminded me of, like, whenever Nicki Minaj is trying to like downplay what her R-word husband like did back when he was 15. Oh, the girl like this or that, he was only 15. It doesn't matter. The crime is the crime. And that's a despicable crime too. So yeah, like they're trying to tell her this like gently as a friend, and she's still taking it like super defensively. Like, I want to know what y'all thought about that in the comments, because it really made me look at her differently. And Brooke said it in such a like a respectful manner for her. It's just like, it's not your place to tell the victim's story, because that's probably not what happened. Like, he's telling you like his events of what happened. And I'm pretty sure that the girl who was with him prior to you like has a different experience than that. But yeah, afterward, Nicole then plays some unaired audio of Evelyn saying her real feelings about Jennifer's fiance. And it's not nice. I think she's even kind of laughing at how Jennifer has this trend of being with felonious men, scammers, etc. And she doesn't really have that good taste in men. But also she said she was thinking about looking into and investigating him, just like the last season when, that new girl Vanessa was doing the same thing. And I'm just like, really? Again, like, if I was Vanessa, the girl from last season, I would feel so vindicated, because basically she was right. Let's see. As my father said, ain't no fool like an old fool. Yep. She really loves being a fool. They carry Jacille. She's actually a basketball wife. And they reduce her whole storyline to less than 2 minutes. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's why I was just like, damn, 2 minutes dedicated to Jacille. I know I'm spelling these names wrong, Chris. I pray that man doesn't ever put his hands on Jennifer. She would probably suffer in silence to save face. Sadly, I totally agree with you. Like, if he ever put his hand to her, like, she wouldn't say anything, because I think she just doesn't want to prove that the other ladies was right or the whole audience was right. Because Jennifer got a mouth on her, and I feel like that man doesn't like to be talked to any kind of way, especially by a woman. He gives misogynist vibes, but I don't know. Like, I don't see what Jennifer sees in him at all, but hopefully it don't blow up in her face, but I think it will. But yeah, back to the unaired audio from Evelyn. Like, I thought Jennifer was going to be a little bit more angry, but she just said she just feels like disappointed. She didn't really react how I thought she would. And she says it's just unfortunate because he doesn't deserve it. Okay. And it even proves Brandy's point. Like, again, when Evelyn does something or when Brooke does something, they don't nearly get the same type of heat. Like Vanessa, she got the wrath of Jennifer, for real. But Evelyn says the same thing that Vanessa said. And it's like, oh, well, I'm disappointed. It's unfortunate. But then Brandy says everyone is tiptoeing around it because they don't want her to be mad at them. And I'm just like, you know what? Let her be Boo Boo the Fool. Let it blow up in her face, and y'all can just pick up the pieces because it's just like, I told you so. So then they really just move on from that. Like that's the end of the conversation. And they're winding down now. We're at the end of the episode. And they're on some gift giving shit. And it's mostly gag gifts. And what stood out, I mean, Jackie gave Evelyn a vibrator. And they're laughing. Evelyn gives Jackie a t-shirt saying, support your local sex workers. And they're laughing like they're good buddies. Again, I'm just feeling like, is this staged? Is their beef staged too? And then Brooke gives Jennifer like a roller skate type of trinket, like saying that she skated all season, which I kind of agree, and then gives her a red flag, which is a little bit awkward considering how serious the tone was when they was calling out her scammer. So yeah, that's where they end this bullshit, and that's where the episode ends, y'all. For real. Vanessa was right. Right, Chris. After this, she can only look in the mirror and blame herself. Yeah, the gift bags were so whack. Like, did they just look at a Potomac reunion? I think that's what production did. They just looked at the Potomac reunion and got notes. But yeah, my thoughts on the reunion, waste of time. I'm glad it was one. Like, I probably wouldn't have did two separate reviews for two parts. I would have put it all together. Terrible time management. I feel like nothing was resolved at all. It just feels like everything is just contrived for the show, for entertainment, just so people can keep their checks. I also saw that there were deleted scenes. Like, they had 4 deleted scenes because I guess they couldn't fit it into the hour span. And I'm like, okay, I'm not about to review that. I saw one of the clips, and it was Brooke calling out Evelyn, and it got a little tense. And I'm like, why didn't they leave that in? That was important to know. And I don't really know the other 3 clips because I don't care. I'm not about to look at this show outside of it. I don't care. And like after this, I am done with this season for real. And I think we're going to get a season 12. It better not be a season 11 part 3, or I'm really done with the show. So then, last but not least, my letter grade for the reunion and my letter grade for the season as a whole. Please give me your grade, your letter grade for the reunion and the season overall in the comment section as well as in the chat. So for the reunion, I want to say an F. Was there any redeeming qualities about the reunion? Oh my God. I think, do I want to give it an F? You know what? You're right, Joel. I'm going to give it a D-. It was a D-. Because if it was an F, I probably would have phoned this review in. We're already at the 34-minute mark. But yeah, I would give it a D-. All in all, for the season, I would give it a C- because it was definitely better than last season. Without a doubt, better than last season. There's potential. And there were some good episodes that I actually enjoyed and I actually laughed at. So, yeah, I would give the whole season a C-. Oh, for the reunion, you give it a D-. Well, same. We have 91 people in the chat. Hello, y'all. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this whack-ass reunion and mediocre season. I think they could keep the cast like it is, but I think we need one more full time and another friend of. That's what I think is missing. So we shall see. Before we go, y'all, let me see if they lowered these Sabrina Carpenter tickets. Cause if you're just joining, I really wanted to go to that tonight. Let's see. I'm on StubHub. Here we go. They're still giving tickets away. How much is one ticket? Ooh, child. It's still $1,000. I guess I'm going to be home tonight. I am going to be home tonight. A mess. I'll just listen to the album. That's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna just listen to Sabrina Carpenter. I wish I had some weed. I really do. But yeah, y'all enjoy y'all Sunday evening. Thank you for joining me. Coming up this week, we're gonna have Salt Lake City episode 3. We have the premiere of The Real Housewives of New York City. I'm excited about that. I think it premieres the 2nd, I want to say, or October 1st. I think October 1st. And next Sunday, Potomac is back, y'all. Get ready for the mess. Get ready for the mess, because you know I am. So yeah, with that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will